Nintendo Nation.
What's going on, everybody? It's JC Capono back with another video for Nintendo Nation. In conjunction with a Has-Been Heroes indie spotlight on our website, I've decided to do a little Let's Play for the heroes, for the game Has-Been Heroes. So, watch and learn, I guess. I've put a lot of time into this game, so I can kind of teach you, and I think it's a game that's pretty underrated. I've played over 400 hours of it, so I really appreciate the game. And I think others would, if they can get through the early part of the game and start unlocking some of the more powerful spells and items, it really gets fun. But I'm starting from the beginning here. I went through the little prologue, so I skipped that. But I'm just going to play and show you some of my techniques. So here I can go, if you look at the map in the bottom right, I can move up to a battle, right to a battle, or down to nothing. I recommend in this game always battling any chance you can and trying to hit every crossroad that you can. So when you traverse this map, you kind of want to lay out in your mind how you can hit as many crossroads as possible without backtracking. Sometimes that's not possible, but in general, you want to hit as many crossroads as possible. So for me, I can see if I want to get that one at the bottom, I got to go down first. So that's my first route. Now I'm going to come back and hit those battles. You'll see I'm going to wind around. Alright, so I'm at a locksmith now. Usually if I hit a locksmith early in a run, I will pick up this bottom key, which gives you infinite keys. And one thing to keep in mind is any item you pick up gives plus 50 health to whatever hero picks it up. So the mage only starts with 100 health. If you look, the warrior has 400 and the rogue has 200. So right now I'm going to use my mage to pick up the key so he gets plus 50 health. Now I'm on to my first battle. So the key to Has-Been Heroes is just lining up your heroes to do the proper amount of hits, basically. So you see the enemies there on the screen. They have a red health bar and they have the green blocks next to their health bar. So that's the amount of stamina they have. And if you take out the proper amount of stamina without overhitting them, they get stunned, and then you can get to their health bar with no penalty. And they also, if you don't kill them, they fly to the back of the screen and they lose one of their max stamina. So here I'm going to line up my mage in the middle. So I'm going to take out his stamina and then I'm going to hit him with my warrior. Now you got these spells down at the bottom here. You got double strike with your rogue. Your mage has Curse of Frost, and your warrior has Hot Potato, which removes 10 to 16 stamina. That's pretty useful. But the double strike, I know my warrior does about 140 damage per strike. So right now I know that enemy has 200 health. Let's see if I can bring it up here. Right there. 200 health, so I know a double strike will take him out because I'll do about 280 damage. Then I move my characters around. The game automatically pauses after each action, so take your time as a new player. Line up my mage at the bottom, take out the proper amount of stamina if you can every time. Now here, what I would do, if I hit with my rogue, it'll do 3 hits and it'll juggle that first enemy there back just a little bit, so he'll end up behind the other guy. But what it ends up doing is creating a little space. So because my mage's melee isn't up right now, the proper play really is my rogue whose melee is up instead of just waiting. Even though I'm not taking out the proper amount of stamina, you'll see what happens here. So I took off half that guy's health. And then my mage is lined up to take out the stamina. So if you overhit, you still do damage to their health bar, but you don't want to overhit in most cases. There's also a backslash damage, so I'll line it up here. If I move my warrior to the center here, he'll hit that enemy on the way back, and there's a chance he could actually kill him. I want to get my mage lined up because on the bottom I see an enemy coming. So I didn't kill him, but it came pretty close. I can overhit with my rogue to take him out. Warrior, again on the bottom. I'm always trying to line up the stamina, and if you can defeat all the enemies in a round, you're going to get a plus 10 or plus 20 gold bonus, which is, that's your goal every time, because gold is pretty important. Going to be buying items and spells with that. Now you see the menu I'm in right now. I press ZR. It's tough to see right now with the menu at the bottom, but there's a glowing blue orb and purple orb that the princesses are holding on the left side of the screen up top. And one of them is up, so the blue orb is up. And anytime those are up, you want to use them, because what it does is you can use any spell, even if it's on cooldown, or, well, the other thing it does, which is really important, is it allows you to keep collecting those orbs. Because at the end of the run, those orbs you collect, you give to the gatekeeper, and that unlocks items and spells faster. So I'm going to use, even though the run's over here, almost, like it's, you always want to use those anytime they're up. Now you'll notice your mage is the weakest, so I don't even use him for doing damage. Most of the time I'm just using his spells and his hits to take off stamina. So I can go down or right now. Stamina camp is useless for me right now, so I'm not going to waste that, because I would have to backtrack and use one of my candles. So you see the candles next to the map on the bottom right. If you backtrack when you don't have candles, the run is over, so you want to avoid doing that. Avoid backtracking if you don't have to. Spell Gambler, yeah, he has a good spell, which is a vortex, but it's 120 just to choose, 120 coins just to choose a chest. So if I don't get it on the first one, it's really not a good investment, because the regular spell vendors, the spells just cost 200. So even though Vortex is a really good spell, I'm limited on my coins right now, so I'm gonna avoid that. You can open a chest with anybody and then decide if you want who you want the item for. So normally I load up with my mage early because he has low health. I don't know what this item does. So it's 10% increased critical hit chance. Normally I would give that to my rogue because they start with a little bit of critical hit chance. So in the future, now that I've unlocked that item, I can see what it is before I pick it up. And like I said, I want to hit every crossroad I can, so I'm going backwards now. It's not backtracking though, because I didn't go this route. Spells, again, it's the same thing. You can open it with anybody and then switch your characters around to pick which one you want. This one is called Divine Intervention, I know, and it's a short cooldown, but it protects one of your heroes from getting hit for 5 seconds. Actually, that one, I'm thinking of Legendary Divine Intervention, which is a shorter cooldown. That one was 90 seconds, which is actually it's a lot, actually. So I'm going to use one of my spells here on the bottom guy, on the bottom enemy. I'm going to use this debuff, which is Curse of Frost. So next time he's attacked after I use this, he'll be frozen for 15 seconds, and then even if he had stamina, it would get to his health right away by using that. This guy in the middle using the green orb over his head right now, that's a healer. You want to take care of them as soon as you can. Again, I'm using double strike. Double strike to make sure I get a kill. Really, the game's just about lining up your characters to the proper amount of stamina, if you can. See there, my rogue did those red numbers, you can see, are critical hit numbers. So they go right through the stamina and right to the health bar anytime he does critical hit. So if you can load up your rogue with critical hit chance increase, he starts to become pretty overpowered, because he'll just, it doesn't matter if there's stamina in the way, he can get right to the health and take out enemies pretty quick. I see a healer at the bottom again, so I know I want to take him out first. Double strike will do it. You'll notice I use the fast forward button at the top left. You can move the screen faster as you wait. As a new player, that's probably not recommended, but you know, as you get the hang of the game, it speeds things along a little bit. So again, this route is really just because I want to hit every battle so I get the most amount of gold possible. That was a button input error there. I actually wanted to give the double strike to my warrior, but I'll show you now. Your rogue has 6 hits, and I'm not going to use him for a while. I'll show you what can happen. So I'm making this a little more challenging for myself, because I'm going to give my rogue another double strike here, and now he'll have 12 hits. And if I wait again, I can give him 24 and then 48. So the double strike is stackable, and that's really important to remember. If you're not using the stackable double strike, you're going to have a hard time against some of the later bosses. And I'm just going to use it here to show you, 12 hits. I've gotten that double strike up to I don't know, well over 500 hits at a time. It's so fun. Okay, you see my purple orb there at the bottom is full. So I'm going to use double strike. Even though it's not on cooldown, I'm going to use it. And then I can still use it again. And I beat all the enemies before time ran out, so I get the gold bonus also. So I don't know what this item does, I don't remember. 10% faster spell recharge, 5% increased critical hit chance. So that's a really good one for the rogue to get, actually, because double strike will come up faster and he gets the critical hit increase. So I've been able to hit 3 battles on this run. There's 4 on every map, so if you can hit them all, that's good. Takes a little longer, but if you want to be really successful, you gotta take the time. So I'm gonna backtrack because I have 5 candles, so you'll see I lose a candle when I backtrack, but I have 4 left, so I'm in no danger of ending the run. When you run out of candles, the run's over, so. Now, I play pretty fast. As a new player, you're going to want to take your time. You can pause the game at any time with the L button. You know, you're not going to be able to do it quite as fast as I am without, you know, I'm barely thinking about what I'm doing because I know how much stamina every enemy I see has. So even before they're on screen completely, I can make my decision on how I want to line up my next hit. And, you know, you see me overhitting at times, and that's because I know that my other character's melee attacks aren't up yet. Here, I'll give my warrior 2 double strikes, and now he has 4 hits, and that's very powerful. And I'm on to the first boss fight. This one is nice and easy. Basically, you just want to keep chipping away at the boss's stamina. Now, there's a couple ways to go about it. Now, I can start stacking double strikes to my warrior and just use the other guys to take off his stamina, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I believe this boss stays in the center lane, so you want to worry about the minions. If you have to worry about them, you do, but for the most part, you can just kind of wait till he gets past them. Now everybody's sort of getting closer. There's more minions coming on the screen, so it's risky to keep doing the double strike with my warrior, but it's almost up there, as you can see at the bottom left. That yellow line's almost to the top of the block. So if I can chill and get some of these minions back, I can get one more double strike at least. See, now I do want to short hop these guys back, short toss them, because they're getting a little close for comfort. And I remember I still have my hot potato, so I can take off the boss's stamina right away without wasting anything. And I think I am going to try to hit him with my warrior here, so I'll line up, wait for him to get past the other minions, take off his stamina, and I'll do 4 hits on him. Didn't quite take him out, but it was close. Now it's just about clearing the minions to make sure you get to the boss as quickly as you can. He's got 5 stamina, so I know I want to do a rogue, then a mage, and then my warrior double strike should end it. And when there's tons of enemies on screen, you'll get something known as an epic kill, which is pretty fun to hear. So that's the first world. As you beat the game, you'll unlock more worlds, more maps. I'm going to try to get to the main boss so I can show you that battle and what happens when you unlock your next character. Because that's really what this game is mostly about, is unlocking new things. Trying to get better fighters, better heroes. And it does get more and more challenging the longer that you play. But you also start getting better items, better spells. So I would say it's always weighing itself pretty fairly. I mean, there are times where you get some bad luck, but in general, the game is pretty fair on how you play and the stuff it throws at you, I think. This run is actually... This is pretty challenging for early in the game right here. What's happening? There's lots of enemies on screen. They're all getting fairly close before I can get to them. But you just kind of chip away at it, you know, one enemy at a time. So you'll notice after I used that spirit orb with ZR, it went to 40 at the bottom, so when it fills up again, if I get 40 spirit orbs of the blue, then I can use that same thing again and use any spell, even if it's on cooldown. So just load up on them if you can. There, I was able to beat them all with only about 1 second left, so that was pretty challenging for an early part of the game, really. So I can go either direction here to pick up every crossroad. I'm going to go up first. If your team had lost any stamina, you could use the stamina camp to reload that, which makes it pretty easy, or easier. So here's an item. I don't remember what this does, but probably gonna want my mage to have a little more health. So, and here that improves his regenerative health also, 4 HP every 5 seconds. So if he loses any health, he'll be regaining it a little bit faster now. Alright, so this enemy at the top with now 29 stamina, he drops gold as you hit him. So if you want to load up on some gold, just start hitting him. You can actually even use your stamina remover, that'll burn him, which will take off some of his health too. Now if you focus on him, the enemies on screen will get closer, so you don't want to overdo it, but you get what you can out of it. There's a healer at the bottom here. He's going to heal that one guy, but that's okay. So the runs, you know, they can get challenging. I'm always trying to do them as efficiently as I possibly can. So there's 2 healers on screen now, so I know I need to take them out. Able to get one here. If I backslash this guy while he's in the act of healing, he'll be interrupted, so I want to do that. So that also takes off some of his health, and I can backslash all these guys and almost take, you know, if I backslash him one more time, the healer will be gone, as you'll see. And now it's not looking great, so in order to get to this guy's health, I'm gonna stun him with the stamina hot potato. And I'll freeze this guy at the bottom on his next hit to make it a little easier on myself. So the backslash is good. It can take out enemies. I don't go crazy with trying to line up a backslash, but if I notice that I can easily do it, I will. Give my rogue 12 hits here. See if I can take out this guy. There we go. And I was able to take them all out easily that time. Here's another spell vendor. I got lots of coins, so I don't have to worry about that. Coin management is pretty important. There are times where you might not have the coins to do what you want, so that's why hitting every battle is pretty important. And this spell is called Earth Stomp. I will usually give this to whoever I'm stacking up with faster spell recharge. So in this case, I know that my rogue has an item. How do I get to those? I forget. There's a way to look at your items, which are on the left-hand side past these spells. There. Press in the left thumbstick. So he's got an item with faster spell recharge 10%, so I know that Earth Stomp is a really good spell. It takes off all the stamina of a group of enemies close to each other. So I want that to come up as fast as it can. It's normally a 90-second cooldown, so this will put it at around a 80-second cooldown or so, now that it's with a hero with spell recharge increase. See, all enemies near target lose 20 stamina. That's like really huge in this game. So on to another battle here. I think I'll just take this guy's stamina off. Line up for the next one. Now that guy, I don't know if you saw, the one I just hit, he had a little shield. So there are enemies that give themselves shields. There are enemies that can heal. There are enemies that can do other elemental damage. So there are some projectiles. Most of them are just walking at you slowly though. Some have different pace. You'll notice as you play more, you'll run into some enemies that move faster than others. So I'm just trying to line up my hits the way I want the whole time. I'm just watching that next enemy as it comes. So there are some chests that you don't have to have keys to unlock. Here's one of them. This one, I believe, increases damage dealt, so I'm going to give it to my warrior. Yep, Thorny Belt, +1 stamina and +7% all damage dealt. So that's a good item to give to your guy that you're doing damage with. Don't remember what this item does. I'll give it to my rogue to find out. +20 melee damage. See, I probably would have given that to my warrior if I'm loading him up with those type of items, but that's okay. For the next one, that'll be unlocked, so I'll know what it is. And here's the first final boss fight, but not really the final boss fight, but this is the final boss. So this fight, I'll pause it. You want to take out those stone statues, and then that will sort of stun the final boss, and then you can get to him. I think there's either 3 or 4 rounds of that, and then it's over. But so he'll keep spawning these minions there, those skeletons with stamina. So before I actually hit the boss when he's stunned, I want to take out those minions, because if you don't do that, they'll more will appear, and these ones will stay on the screen. So you want to make sure you take them out in waves, I guess. So I'm down to the final stone statue. Here comes more minions, so I want to try to take them out. Now, that guy at the bottom that I just stunned with my hot potato, he has he will steal orbs, the spirit orbs, if he's on the screen and you kill other enemies. So then you won't be able to collect any. So you want to take him out as soon as you can too. So he's done. Line up my rogue here. Want to try to take out these minions. As you can see on the right side of the screen, the boss is stunned still. So the minions are all gone, so now I can hit him. And more statues will appear, more minions will appear. I like to take out the statues closest to me first, that way I can get to the minions a little easier. Let's freeze this guy so he can't move. He seems to be the most dangerous position there. I still have Earth Stomp if I want to use it, but not really necessary at this point. So I'm still trying to get to the statues. Okay, killed all the minions. We'll see if any more spawn, but right now I'm just down to... Okay, there's one of those spirit orb stealers in the middle. So I want to take him out, definitely. Still focusing on... yeah, just focusing on the minions before I take him out again. So this should be the last round of the statues that I need to take out. Don't forget those spirit orbs. Anytime you see ZL flashing, go ahead and press it and use it. If you don't use it, you lose it, as they say. I'm down to 2 statues. This time I don't really need to take out all the minions before I hit the boss. You can still, but it's not necessary. Because I know this is the final round of this. Alright, so the boss is now out. I just have to find a way to hit him. If I had a projectile spell, I could use that, but in this case I just need to hit him with 1 melee. And that's it. So early in the game you can open this crystal with any character to unlock the next character. So I'll go ahead and just do the cutscene. So I'm releasing another of the has-been heroes here. There's 36 characters, I believe, total. So 33 unlockables. So basically you have to beat the game at least 33 times to unlock every character. So that's a new mage. Now you get all these unlocks, just press A to skip them all. I mean, you don't have to if you want to watch them, but it's 85 unlocks. And there'll be new items and new spells available in my next run. Alright, that's it for part 1 of Has Been Heroes playthrough. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to Nintendo Nation for more videos and more great content. Thanks, guys.